Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits only temporarily those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Ghetto, run, keep going on, less process. For children of Israel who really love rights. So just a try and I as a watching man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I she never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war and crime. Fight down. Nixon Rastafari. War and crime. And do the right. righteousness. And we love and we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. We love Jaja. We love Jaja. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I say, watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I and I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for Rastafari. Fight down war and fight. Fight down war and fight. Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah, Rastafari. We love all, and we love Jah, me love Jah, me love Jah, Rastafari. Preserve all, me love Jah, Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink.
After days of waiting to hear Andrew Holness speak on the U.S. kidnapping of the Venezuela president, the Prime Minister has finally spoken at the National Prayer Breakfast. I don't understand what he means. Don't know if you either will understand what the Prime Minister means when you hear him. But one thing jumped out at me when the Prime Minister promised to keep us safe throughout the geopolitical spat affecting the Caribbean. The thing that comes to mind straight away, if the Prime Minister is unable to keep us safe from his own JCF and JDF, how is it that a Prime Minister would be able to keep us safe from a hyena-style tyrant who's going around the world picking presidents and their wives out of their bed crack of dawn? I mean, we're going to ask the Prime Minister how this morning. Good morning and welcome to Global TV. Thank you all for joining us this morning. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning and welcome. And to the grieving family and the grieving community, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Global TV. Thank you all for joining us this morning. We want to have conversation with Mentor this morning. Mentor down Black River. Yeah, we have question for Mentor. Lynette Jenkins, good morning. Suzette Laverne, Les, Elder Fletcher. Good morning, Barbara Simpson. Abinasa Cody, Raymond G, the Easy Jerk. Morning, all. Welcome, one and all. Thank you all for joining us this morning. There is a like button just below the viewing panel. I think it's to your left. If you hit that little thumbs up for us, please, it will send the program in the algorithm so more people can know that we are out here. Prime Minister plan to keep us safe. Don't you want to be safe? I mean, we're going to let Andrew Holness lick a bit. We're going to call Sean Paul for it. Tell Sean Paul to come back. We're going to tell Sean Paul, then Miles. Somebody call Sean Paul for it. It gets serious, you know. It is getting seriouser with the government and him lion story. So somebody have to go come out and tell me whose story is factual. Because the Observer carried the Observer carried a story. And you know, we talked with the Observer yesterday morning about it. Because to say, we know the Observer are carry news on behalf of the government or a carry lion story on behalf of the government. Then, when me look at the government, me say, I come behind the Observer with the same knives. So me say, but tap. So Sean Paul are wicked and Sean Paul are liar to take the government money. Sean Paul are wicked and Sean Paul are liar. Because it look like Sean Paul take the government money and come spend it like say him a do. Or, me don't know if the government could have been so liar and wicked. Well, we know them still. Could have been so liar and wicked that the government willing to take another man's hand show God. Now let's listen to Senator Rutherford Carriage.
I'm here in border, at the border of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, at about the third week after we started this project to rebuild all these 44.
Jamaica, we don't call Sean Paul for with this morning. We need to have it out. Somebody call Sean Paul now, please. Oh no, I go so. Oh no, I go so. One on no call Sean Paul then. Because to say, either Sean Paul take the government money and I go on like him, or the government a walk around and lay claim to people goodwill and people good name. But me sure to me say Sean Paul out there with Chuck, with lumber. So somebody needs to clarify this glory, because Melissa is about glorifying oneself, you know. A lot of people is using Melissa as glorification of themselves, even when they are not worthy because they haven't done anything. Listen to Arbin Hill. Me think say me an idiot or somebody I play a game with me, because if these celebrities, artists and entertainers are working in partnership with the government, then say tell we, I don't make you come out here and cuss the government say they not do nothing. We don't believe in that. If it is that these charities, entertainers, and everybody out there, where do they liquor they can, is working in partnership and in tandem with the government, you can say it. Don't stand up out there and make we lambast the government when a government resource I use and I make a name for yourself. I'm just saying, people, because you see the confusion where we buck up in. We see Sean Paul do, and then government come say them do. Isn't it a confusing story to you? So it's down to both Sean Paul and the government to tell us who really done it, who for money spent.
I'm here in border, at the border of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, at about the third week after we started this project to rebuild all these 44 shops right here where the vendors sell their fish, their curry goat, their bami, and other wares that people love to stop. As you can see, the vehicles here to buy. We're still in the process. We're almost finishing. We have 2 or 3 of the stalls left to be roofed, and then we're going to have a big corporate entity has decided to collaborate with us to paint all of this. The government came in with a plan and making sure that all these shops are uniformly good. We made sure we're putting in new concrete so the dust can be controlled, and they wrap right around to 44 at the end there. So we're almost there, and next week we expect to start the painting and the branding. The painting will go down here with advertisements, and the branding will go up here for the names of the shops.
Jamaica, if me never see it pan JIS, me would have think AI. If me never see it pan JIS, me would have think AI. They make put out there. But let us compare and contrast.
What's the mission? Build back border.
Let us compare and contrast what we saw in Sean Paul's video as opposed to what we heard in Auburn Hill's video. Let us compare and contrast what we will see in Sean Paul's video as opposed to what we heard in Auburn Hill's video. Pamela Akola, how are you? Somebody can lie and wicked, so. But Sean Paul, if you're in a no mix up or no commotion with them, and them give the plywood and the lumber, them so good and go help them do this, make we know. But so far, we did see out there. And now that it done, we see the government and his friend them come and hold up their hand and take the glory.
What's the mission? Build back border. Practice it.
We are trying to sprinkle it every week. Well, last week when I was here, I tell you I'm going to forward back. Next week I'm going to send back again until the place built. You understand? Reason why yes, so first, in certain terms, you know it's the hub. You know, say people need that for their moral. When we pass through here, sir, and see one table, remember hard job come and say, yo, we can't even buy the super. So I feel good for no say. Right now we are built back. Right, I promised on the last week and we're there now. So I don't want nobody feel like they get left off because the next week they're there and the next week they're there. You understand? We are built back the place. Put where we are give into this, so make yes so can be back at economic cover and make back money, please. That's what we are at. So we like to see the progress, we're seeing it. And we are cleaning up the beach and we just want to make her know say straight love. Then that's that we are dealing. No farmer, no problem, no politics against this or that, but a straight love.
And remember again, please, when you use the product them and fix at the shop them, you can pass and see the thing look good and see some greatness. Yeah, man. We're going to check on any house on have a mash down. We're going to check on that. But them goods that we want to get right now, have to build up the shop them.
I'm fixing here, so it's not just, it help a lot of people moral to see about the place, full and vibrant. So we could do it. We could do it. Yeah?
We'll do it together. So the mission is to build back the place. All right, build back border. What's the mission? Build back border.
Now, based on what I have seen and heard in these two videos, I'm just left confused. Gloria Morris, how are you? I'm left confused, Marcia Thomas. I don't know what to believe and who to believe. Because these are two very conflicting stories. The difference, though, is one story has evidence in it, while the other Jaja, morning. While the other is just a story. Hmm? So me can't be stupid if me say Abin Hill is lying. Because at no time before Bada fix up, we see anybody from government out there and make noise or a children could like a grazing jackass. At no time. Now that Bada done and Bada fix up, government say we're going to go paint it and write on a name penny. And government say a them build back Bada. So if Sean Paul is in partnership with the government in the rebuilding of Bada, there's nothing in Sean Paul's coming out and say that. At least it's transparency. So we would understand Sean Paul say our money are spent in the reconstruction and we get accountability for it. Blessed woman, morning. But Abin Hill's story, Sean Paul, contradicts what we've seen you've done. Even though on the balance of probability, Sean Paul, your story is more believable.
Here in Border,
Sean Paul, your story have evidence. It's not just a source of story, just so. I've been a Sarkodi, how you do? Kenil Gale. It's not just a source of story, just so. Sean Paul came with evidence. I know, yeah, and Sean Paul have a dispute, you know. I may have dispute with the misinformation where we get from the government. Or misinformation where we get from the entertainer them. Because now that the government come out so bluntly and boldly, can't say them do it. We need to know if a fee with taxpayer money do it. You don't think that's fair? The government say them bill back bad. We want to know out of who for money and how much it costs the government to build back bad. Because Arbin say, oh no, build back the whole 40 and thing them. And it was over a 3-week period that Sean Paul go there with lumber on a weekly basis to assist the people them. So we want the government to tell us how much it costs the government to build back border. Abin Hill say, oh no, you know. Abin Hill never even say the government in conjunction with Sean Paul or in partnership with Sean Paul. Abin Hill said them, DEM, them.
I'm here in Border, at the border of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, at about the 3rd week after we started this project to rebuild all these 44 shops right here where the vendors sell their fish, their curry goat, their bami, and other wares that people love to stop, as you can see, the vehicles here to buy. We're still in the process.
Bear in mind, St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland only have one border where fish where food sell. There's not a different border where Abin Hill is to the different border where Sean Paul did there. It's not two different borders, it's one.
I'm here in Border, at the border of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, at about the 3rd week after we started this project to rebuild all these 44 shops right here where the vendors sell their fish, their curry goat, their bami, and other wares that people love to stop. As you can see, the vehicles here to buy. We're still in the process. We're almost finishing. We have 2 or 3 of the stalls left to be roofed, and then we're going to have a big corporate entity has decided to collaborate with us to paint all of this. The government came in with a plan and making sure that all these shops are uniformly good. We made sure we're putting in new concrete so the dust can be controlled, and they wrap right around to 44 at the end there. So we're almost there, and next week we expect to start the painting and the branding. The painting will go down here with advertisements, and the branding will go up here for the names of the shops.
I don't know if you believe anymore. Me don't know if you believe anymore. I've never seen 2 such conflicting stories in a long time.
What's the mission? Build back border. That is it.
We are trying.
Me know say Anas's story is common in Jamaica. Me know say Anas's story is part of a folklore culture, folklore, whatever culture in a Jamaica. Me know that. But good God Almighty, and everything we have to bring Anasi in. And everything we have to bring Anasi in Arbin Hill. Because it bothers me about these rich men, how they can't control their waistline. Anyway, it's not my business. My waist has been waist 32 for the last 30 odd years. So it's really not my business.
What's the mission? Build back border. That is it.
We are trying to sprinkle it every week. Well, last week when I was here, I tell you I'm going to forward back. Next week I'm going to send back again until the place built. You understand? Reason why yes, so first in certain terms, you know it's up. You know, say people need that for their moral. When we pass through here, so, and see one table, remember hard job come and say, yo, we can't even buy the soup or so I feel good for no say. Right now we are built back. Alright, I promised on the last week I'm there now. So I don't want nobody feel like they get left off because the next week they're there and the next week they're there. You understand? We are built back the place. Put where we are give into this so make yes so can be back at economic cover and make back money, please. That's what we are at. So we like to see the progress, we've seen it. We are cleaning up the beach and we just want to make her know say straight love. Then that's that we are dealing. No farmer, no problem, no politics against this or that, but the straight love.
And remember again, please, when you use the product them and fix up the shop them, you can pass and see the thing look good and see that greatness.
Yeah, man.
We're going to check on any house on have a mash down. We're going to check on that. But them goods that we want to get right now, have to build up the shop them.
I'm fixing here, so it's not just, it help a lot of people moral to see back the place, full and vibrant. So make we do it. Make we do it, yeah?
We'll do it together. So the mission is to build back the place. All right, build back border. What's the mission? Build back border.
Now I want to ask the government. A government who have declared war on misinformation. Which of these 2 stories is misinformation? Sean Paul's information or Arbin Hill's information? Because I think given that you have declared war on misinformation, I think we need a clear up in this. Andrew Holness. Who is giving us misinformation here? Sean Paul or Arbin Hill? Arbin Hill said the government fixed back all 40 at shop out of border. We saw Sean Paul out there with the lumbers. So me left confused. But anyway, it's normal of this government to confuse we. Now we're going to go to Jamaica's most hated. We are now going to go to Jamaica's most hated. A lot of people want to hear what the Prime Minister had to say in the kidnapping of President Maduro and detention in the Caribbean. The Prime Minister spoke at the National Prayer Breakfast. But before we go into that, we don't want to see one little piece of irritation. The way Delpha Davis, and the other lot introduced Andrew Holness. Wanna make me sure no me know so no hate Andrew Holness, but I beg you no this morning. Make me sure no say the church are ushering dictatorship and a clone Andrew as king in our country. You know want to see it? No man, you have to help me look this morning. I beg. You know, just help me look. You did say Andrew entrance at the National Prayer Breakfast? No, no, see it? No, sir. All the church, I can't we cap in hand with the Prime Minister. Me know no like to see him, but I'm not going to see him this morning. I'm not going to see him. I'm not going to see the grandiose entrance this morning from MPM. Jesus of mercy. Jamaica people don't know how much far they have gone into this thing, into this danger. Jamaica people don't know how far gone Andrew Holness of them just a carry go on so. And the churches are on board. No wonder why they come out so chang over the money. Don't wonder why they come out so strong over the money. Because they are being paid to do something. We can't even find a nonsense. It look like a nonsense. Don't want to irritate you this morning. But me not lie. Andrew a ton dictator in our country. And the church is behind him. The introduction that these people give to this guy. Getting a Jesus Christ did a come. The introduction we then give to Andrew Holness. This is the game the churches are playing with us. No wonder why the whole of them come out. No wonder why the whole of them come out and a walla so over the church, over the disaster money. Because they all have a vested interest to protect. But let's go to the Prime Minister at the prayer breakfast speaking. I don't know. I don't want to say what the Prime Minister is speaking. You judge for yourself.
Mr. Holness told his audience that his primary duty is to steer Jamaica clear of issues that do not concern it. He sought to assure Jamaicans that the country will remain safe on his watch.
Every day I pray for the nation. We are living in changing times, uncertain times, uncharted waters in many instances. And my job as the steward of your affairs and the servant of your wishes is to keep Jamaica safe, not to steer into waters for which we don't have to go, not to invite problems on ourselves when we have our own problems to deal with.
The U.S. actions against Venezuela have triggered widespread international concern, with questions being raised about the future security and stability of the Caribbean. Last Saturday's military operation resulted in the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Cilia. More than 50 people were killed in the operation. The Caribbean community, CARICOM, has called for peaceful dialogue through diplomatic channels to ensure stability and prosperity for Venezuelans in their country. That statement followed a meeting of the Bureau of the Conference of Heads of Government. Jamaica is a member of that bureau. Prime Minister Holness says his approach should not be understood as an abdication of its leading role in CARICOM. He says the country's voice remains a strong one in the region.
This is not us recoiling from our principles and duties. Jamaica has always been consistent, and we have always been the strong voice of reason for small developing countries globally, and continue to be. Many of the issues that are presently being discussed, if persons who comment on these issues would only do very cursory research into the matter, they would see the positions that Jamaica has taken and continue to take.
Dr. Holness says his government has a solid track record of managing multiple geopolitical shocks. He says his administration will continue on that path.
So what is happening, Jamaica has already taken its position long before others would have sought to enunciate any current position. So we give God thanks for keeping Jamaica safe in turbulent geopolitical and geoeconomic times. We have navigated those waters very carefully, very skillfully, and we will bring the ship of the Jamaican state to the destination of prosperity for which God has ordained.
I have no idea what Andrew Holness just said. Believe you me, absolutely no idea what the Prime Minister just says. We're not going to get irritated now. We're going to look upon Jesus Christ or come. Well, just look at the church them a bit here. The churches have become the playground of demons. Gonna look. And tell me the church have no right to behave like this. In a country with a prime minister with no integrity, a prime minister which is laced left, right, and center with corruption. Think the church should have given Andrew Holness this reception? Look, it should have done. Pass the line up to shake your hand. Listen to Nancy Dell for Stephen Davis now. You see the optic as him a stepping in the church door where they any pan king of all. Don't cuss. Kings in our country.
Mr. Jackson, Member of Parliament, representing the Leader of the Opposition. Welcome, sir. Let's put our hands together and receive Dr. the Most Honorable and Jamaica Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica.
church has become a den of corruption. The churches have become a den of corruption. Any good and honorable pastor, any good and honorable pastor would not have platform Andrew Holness. The running of Melissa, one should have shown him. The only thieving of public money, one should have shown him. The lack of integrity year in, year out, the Prime Minister integrity statutory declaration cannot be signed. Uno should have shown him. And now introduce Andrew with King of Kings playing in the background. Lightning don't strike the right places. I'm now convinced that lightning don't strike in the right places. Like if it strike on some other church, you know. What uno church is a harbor. The direction uno lead the people in the interest of money and power. As Jonathan Hemmings uno need a moral, nor uno inner the majority. But this is what politics that we'll be telling about that might discuss for them two entity there. When me tell you about my discuss for them two entity there, you will understand. Because I have seen, I've been watching forever what these two organizations is doing to Black people, and it's woeful. It is a sorrowful thing to watch. It is a sorrowful thing to watch. The way the church and politicians treat the people them. And when we talk, them say we're ungodly, we're blasphemous, we're idiots. That's why I'm glad for Donald Trump in a way, because if you all don't take the lessons what we say, God help you, we soon go to the international law, better that. May everybody call about have respect for internet. Have respect for what? Does it exist? We will get to that in a bit. But uno call Pimento and Duncan, era how much you wanna be? Mandeville and Black wanna come here. No. There's a young man that was shot in Black River. And the first thing the government tell we, it was a police shootout. Government said it was a police shootout. Now, I don't know this young man. A lot of people in my region from Black River to Party is telling me that I know who he is, but probably know him when he was much younger. But I know his girlfriend. His girlfriend is a friend of mine. Is the daughter of one of my friends in Black River. The sister now put out a story, Pimento, because this is the problem we have with police shooting, where when a police shooting happens, the police them quick to put out a story in the media without whether it's right or not, demonizing the person them kill. But the sister is saying this, and rightly so, because not only the sister, people that I have been speaking to within my region have been saying, if he was wanted, then they could have arrested him, because this youth was not hiding from anything in play out every weekend, in play out ever so often. So me not understand, even if people involved in a crime, why the police them can't conduct arrests without the gun blazing behavior. The sister said, meant to attach to the Black River police station. After you painted the narrative like my brother, Don Squad, bigger than senior, was a gunman, gang leader, and a wanted man, when he play at party every weekend and sometime weekdays in and around the neighborhood communities and parish, meaning of St. Elizabeth, and I think he plays in Westmoreland sometime as well. His picture is on every flyer and poster, so now it's a mistake in identity. Them later on I say it's a mistake in identity. But you put out in picture, you put out this narrative about him. At what point the misidentity was mistaken? And how much people has been shot by the police because of mistaken identity. My brother, my brother celebrated his birthday December 28th. You sent police to our home the day after and conducted a search because you claim he has a gun. Nothing was found. He was held for 48 hours along with my other brothers and cousin. They were released December 31st. On his way to take the liquor he took from the consignment, unmarked police car followed him, pulled him over at the most secluded area, all by himself, unarmed. He was executed by task force, both hands up, with bullet wounds and one in his head. You told the news it was a standoff shootout, and the police from other parishes had to be deployed to help. Now it's a mistaken identity, because you saw the love, the tears, and all the comments. Hold on. I think that's it. Yeah. So another story where the police now they must say a mistaken identity. Now Minto is saying it is mistaken identity. How much of our young men though? Where did I put this photograph? How much of the young men in our country has been cut down by as such? We know Jamar Ferguson, and in the way that the sister explained what happened to this man, they shoot a young man by the name of Shane Grandison in the very same exact way, even though Shane Grandison wasn't the one who they were harassing and arresting and have reporting at station that he had a gun. But the guy that Shane was in his car that day, that's the guy they were harassing. And when they shoot up his car, killing both of them, he was coming from the police station to report. There's many of these instances where young men are being murdered and guns are being placed on them. Jamar Ferguson apparently pulled a gun at Uno. Romario pulled a gun at Uno. And we've seen the clear evidence of those two. How much more the family in this is saying. And a lot of people around Black River and other places who know him in the musical community said this is not the person. That's not the type of person. He's a well-popular person in the dance hall fraternity, always playing music here and there. So if it is that the narrative that you put out on him meant to that he is wanted, then why you never got one of the dance to arrest him peacefully? Why you not shoot him up after you release him after 48 hours? After you release him, and you find one and look for. Why you not shoot him up? Why you never put a track upon him? This police brutality, Prime Minister, cannot go down as crime fighting. This police brutality cannot go down as crime fighting because the evidence what the police then present to it in a day crime fighting, it don't add up. It don't make sense. And we're going to move back to Manchester now. Because it look like him come out and a double down on the bullshit when tell us when it make sense. And him need to tell we. Him need to tell we how much gunman. Because what him explain to we, I can't treat total gunman carry out that whole heap of different movement.
Police take certain actions. It is usually in response to an action that is taken against them. So if an innocent person was there and was not a threat to the police officers yesterday, then certainly no harm would have come to them. We only respond to threat when it is meted out against us. So where the perpetrators are given clear instructions to lay down their weapons and surrender, and if they fail to do that and direct their firearms in our direction, then certainly we will respond with like force. So if somebody was there that was in the wrong place at the wrong time and they were not a threat to us, then certainly no harm would have come to them. My name is Kerry Duncan. I'm a superintendent of police.
How would Kerry Duncan know if somebody was in a building that Kerry Duncan stormed? Or if somebody was a part of that group that Kerry Duncan claims is that, how would Kerry Duncan know that they are not a threat?
I'm the commanding officer for the Manchester Division. About 12:20 p.m., the police, acting on information, came to this premises behind me to execute a search warrant. On the approach of the police, a group of men were seen exiting the building with fire.
A group of men were seen exiting the building with firearm.
In hand. The police accosted the men who engaged them in a shootout.
Right. In what way are you using the word accosted? Grab them, call out to them, tell them to stop. Oh, you're you're being detained. How? In what way are you using that accosted? Because you can use it. It can be applied verbally or physically. Which one is how? In which way are you using the accosted, sir? Verbally or physical accosted? Which one of them? So you can accosted somebody just by telling, oh, stop, I've accosted you. And I can run you down and I can grab on you. I have accosted you. Which one of them is it, sir? You idiot.
So the police advanced inside the building where they were again engaged by other men inside the premises. The police again returned the fire. At the end of the shooting, 3 men were found suffering from what appeared to be gunshot injuries. All 3 men were immediately taken to the Maypen Hospital, where unfortunately They were pronounced dead. Are following strong leads that they are, however, from a neighboring parish. I just want to implore persons that Manchester is in fact a cool place and you're welcome to visit Manchester at any time. However, if you have any criminal intention at all, I would suggest that you find somewhere else to go, not Manchester.
Well, police start making a rule and say, if you not come to Manchester with a clean heart and a clean hands, don't bother come. Don't bother come. If you come to Manchester and you not come with a clean hands and a clean heart, don't come. Don't know how clean the police them up in Manchester and a heart be after these level of killing that they have provided us no evidence that they were in danger, which led to that self-defense. Police always say, "Uno pint gonna after them." What happened to these idiot bad man in Jamaica? Fools. Uno know now go dead. Why not keep pointing gun after police? No might as well uno put on the gun and walk out with a hand up. Why not keep pointing guns at police? Does it make sense? You think police afraid when you point a gun after them? Listen, man, we not stop the idiotness. Stop walk around pointing guns at police. It absolutely make no sense. If you have the gun and you're not going to use it, throw it away or turn it into the government. But if you just have the gun for point pan police, it absolutely don't make no sense. But the police don't have point gun after them anyway. Because these gunmen, they have a way of pointing gun after the police and then for them finger tremble so much so they can't pull the trigger. Their fingers are trembling so much till they can't pull the trigger. So all you know do, stop point the source of gun after the police. Try point on a finger. Maybe there's more in a finger than in an empty gun there. Or in a fictitious gun. Wanna walk and point at a police. Because everybody gets shot, point a gun at a police and haven't got any time to pull the trigger. And even when the man police in a shootout, I be a wild shot investigator can't even go up on scene, go find one of the shot them. Stop walk and point the empty gun them at the police. Point on a finger or point on a mouth like two old people were meant to for business. But the pointing gun ain't working for no, all right? This brutality. This police brutality, this extrajudicial killing. Let's listen to Marco Rubio. I have always been telling you all, there's nothing such as international law, nor these international organizations we are told about or hear about, whether it's the one with the U's or the W's or the I or whatever they may be. This is why, if you remember well,
the stabilization of the country,
I always refer to them as an American international organization. And this is how also you ought to see what they call international law. The America international legal system. Now, none of these entities function without America's agreement. Say, for example, the United Nations. If you remember the Rwandan genocide, they pulled out and allowed the genocide to take place because for the West at that time, strategically, it wasn't beneficial for them when it comes to aid and all of that. Then when you come to the Serbian genocide, they have their political reasons for their NATO reasons. So them step in at that time and they drop bomb in Europe because that's what America wanted. When the United Nations Assembly of Security Council sit down and meet to discuss any of these issues, it will never be actualized. Whatever they say, for instance, look at Gaza the other day. They debated a ceasefire, blocked every time by America. They discuss peacekeeping force, blocked every time by America. Because all of these organizations are 70 to 80% funded by America. Say, for instance, NATO, which is one thing I want at the moment, NATO to go at war amongst themselves. NATO is majority America funding military asset and military personnel. NATO cannot go to war without the US agreement, without the US going. However, if the US is going to a war, legal or illegal, the US can compel other NATO countries to come along with them, as we see in Iraq war and others. So these that we call international system or international legal system or the international rules-based system, trust me as a person, that was my specialty on my master's degree, international law, business and finance. That was my specialty. The thing don't exist. I'm not saying it's not on paper. I'm not saying cordial presidents or cordial world leaders can make it work or they can abide by it. The moment, though, you have a rogue like the Serengeti hyena in a Donald Trump who steps into the fray that has demonized all of these structures, the whole international rule-based system is thrown out the window. Now, zoom in on America. Everything there, all of the Americans' institutions are being undermined. Congress is being thrown to the side. The executive power is being used willy-nilly by Donald Trump. The judiciary is just hanging on by a thin thread at the moment, given how Donald Trump packed it with right-wing judges in his first term. So the rules-based system is based on psychology. If there's a president who have the patience like Barack Obama and Bill Clinton to tell you a sweet lie, a believable lie, you will go along with it and they'll have your backing and you get to do what you want to do without any problem. Donald Trump don't care about these bullshit. Donald Trump is not involved in the niceties. Businessmen are very crafty, cruel people. They just cut to the chase. And this is the thing that you need to pay attention to. How the rule system apply based on psychology when you have a mad president as opposed to a sane president. The American Constitution, which we think it's rigid and entrenched, under Donald Trump's second term, it's not so. Donald Trump ought to be impeached at the moment for what happened on the weekend, because it ought not to happen without Congress authorization. The bombing of another country ought not to happen without Congress authorization. That's the brokenness of the American constitutional framework. But the international law that Donald Trump is violating, Donald Trump is not the first to do it. The Americans did it in Nicaragua. The ICJ ruled against them in that. The Americans did it in Panama. They did it in Cuba. They did it in Guatemala. They did it in Iraq. They did it in Afghanistan. They did it in Syria. They've done it in Palestine. I mean, there's nothing new here. The difference is the applied diplomacy or otherwise lack of diplomacy. And these are the things that you must focus on. It's a dog-eat-dog world. And that's why we must stop lock with self to these cultist leaders. We only suck pan with blood and energy to get to where they want to go. But beyond that, nobody not think about where nobody no business with we. Listen to how America talk about other people wealth.
The stabilization of the country. We don't want it descending into chaos. Part of that stabilization, and the reason why we understand and believe that we have the strongest leverage possible, is our quarantine. As you've seen today, 2 more ships were seized. We are in the midst right now, and in fact, about to execute on a deal to take all the oil. They have oil that is stuck in Venezuela. They can't move it because of our quarantine and because it's sanctioned. We are going to take between 30 and 50 million barrels of oil.
I literally don't have a problem with America speaking this way. That's how America must speak. That's how America must speak. The American system is a pack of Serengeti hyenas. What Serengeti hyenas normally do, they're scavengers. Them wait until you make the kill and them come and take it out of your mouth. You almost focus on what is happening at this time geopolitically and in the region. Andrew Holness is of the view that we mustn't stick with nose in it because it's not our business. Don't know how he works that out. But these things that we hear about and book, not no go so. May I tell you, me study international law. It's on paper. Does it apply in actuality or in reality? No, it does not. America, the pack of wild wolves, will do whatever they want to do with the aerial dominance and the domination of the sea. Because you know they don't dominate on land, because the moment they touch dot, they lose war. The moment the American them touch dot, they lose war. But they dominate the air and the sea. And they use that to break up developing countries. America wants it and the few homosexual and lesbian poodles in Europe to be the only economy in this world. These people not able to make anything anymore. These people hungry. These people are walk on chus and are walk on bara. All you see these white people are walking and fling themselves around the place. We don't know why China play this softball. China can cripple America. Look what America, but America has always been stealing oil anyway. But to see America become a high sea pirate, I mean, America, look at you. And then you have Benjamin Netanyahu. And there's a new front in, because, you know, every like 5 years or so, they have to create a new narrative or a new slang. Just as you remember after the 9/11, it was the branding for the tirade was terrorism. Now, in South America, it's narco-terrorism. In Africa, it's a religious war. Because you see, Benjamin Netanyahu, listen, Nigeria and Somalia Nigeria and Somalia. I want Israel and America flatten out on you know. Because after you have seen their behavior in Palestine, and Nigeria is inviting America and Israel in the pretense to tackle Abraham Chore, it's not going to go down well for Africa. And you, the little junker of that piece of cut-off land you call Somaliland, me left Israel to no. Lord, me left Israel to no because I don't know that everywhere Israel go, Israel walk with an abattoir knife. Left Israel to no. Because I don't know why any country in Africa should I want to have anything to do with Israel. And it's because of this fucking Christian religion. And let me tell you why. A lot of the Christians in Africa, barring down south, like South Africa and so on, who detest them, these people, because of their Bible fuckery and the lies that Charles and them lot told in the Bible about Israel, these people think that the murderous Zionist barbaric things in Palestine are those what's it or that is spoken of in the Bible, and because of that they hold true to them and they think they're God chosen people and they think God gave them this. But me want Nigeria, me want when they reach a Nigeria, they make it known say God give them Nigeria and God give them Somaliland. The holy power black people have to die for us to be free, because we cannot be free with the hope and numbskull what we have round with. Me I tell you that me go about my business this man for them come start shot through my window can know they turn bad and go on already. And they don't like when people talk about the two. But no have to shoot me. No have to shoot me because I can't be a hear the fuckery.
We're going to sell it in the marketplace at market rates, not at the discounts Venezuela was getting. That money will then be handled in such a way that we will control how it is dispersed in a way that benefits the Venezuelan people, not corruption, not the regime. So we have a lot of leverage to move on the stabilization front. The second phase will be a phase that we call recovery. And that is ensuring that American, Western, and other companies have access to the Venezuelan market in a way that's fair. Also, at the same time, begin to create the process of reconciliation nationally within Venezuela so that the opposition forces can be amnestied and released and from prisons or brought back to the country and begin to rebuild civil society. And then the third phase, of course, will be one of transition.
Now, these thugs, as according to the Prime Minister, the thugs from the other community come down the road, come and stick up my neighbor. Come and stick up my neighbor and take what all of my neighbor have. The Prime Minister said, if using the Prime Minister,
Mr. Holness told his audience that his primary
of our business, we shouldn't take we head in there because it don't have nothing to do with we. So those are the people that you want to support. Those are the people that you want to align yourself with, who just walk into people's house and stick them up and kidnap them. These were the same people who went into Saddam's house and took out how much gold and how much money, you know.
Mr. Holness told his audience that his primary duty is to steer Jamaica clear of issues that do not concern it. He sought to assure Jamaicans that the country will remain safe on his watch.
Every day I pray for the nation. We are living in changing times, uncertain times, uncharted waters in many instances. And my job as the steward of your affairs and the servant of your wishes is to keep Jamaica safe, not to steer into waters for which we don't have to go, not to invite problems on ourselves when we have our own problems to deal with.
The U.S. actions against Venezuela have triggered widespread international concern, with questions being raised about the future security and stability of the Caribbean. Last Saturday's military operation resulted in the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Cilia. More than 50 people were killed in the operation. The Caribbean community, CARICOM, has called for peaceful dialogue through diplomatic channels to ensure stability and prosperity for Venezuelans in their country. That statement followed a meeting of the Bureau of the Conference of Heads of Government. Jamaica is a member of that bureau. Prime Minister Holness says his approach should not be understood as an abdication of its leading role in CARICOM. He says the country's voice remains a strong one in the region.
This is not us recoiling from our principles and duties. Jamaica has always been consistent, and we have
both what, sir? Consistent both what? Consistent both what?
Always been the strong voice of reason for small developing countries globally, and continue to be. Many of the issues that are presently
Jamaica is a strong voice for small countries globally. Globally.
Being discussed, if persons who comment on these issues would only do very cursory research into the matter, they would see the positions that Jamaica has taken and continue to take.
Prime Minister, that's the part that bedazzles me. Because on the PJ and under the PNP, it was a different line with Venezuela on the oil deal we got and all of that. You would remember, though, Prime Minister, that in Trump's first term, you threw that under the bus. So it cannot be that we're consistent when under the People's National Party, we had a different deal with Venezuela, which you turn around because of Donald Trump's tirade on Venezuela. We don't know what your position is, Prime Minister. We don't know what the Jamaica government position is. This is why we're asking for a clear and decisive position. When you come out, can't tell we know, we even confuse her.
Mr. Holness says his government has a solid track record of managing multiple geopolitical shocks. He says his administration will continue on that path.
So what is happening, Jamaica has already taken its position long before others would have sought to enunciate any correct position. So
Jamaica has taken its position long before everybody else now denounced this position. What is that position, though, Prime Minister? Because I'm sure no Jamaican, you would ask any Jamaican, what is Jamaican's position and what Jamaica's government position on Venezuela? None of us knows. This is why we're asking. And what you have said at the prior breakfast, we're nowhere closer to. Because if we are to look back at history, Prime Minister, when Donald Trump ordered you to rescind that oil deal with Venezuela, is what you did. So are we then, Prime Minister, to understand that you have taken the Donald Trump line? Because it couldn't that you have taken a neutral line when Donald Trump said, kill that deal, and you have killed that. What we want to know, Prem, is your position. Position. You know, like when you cock up and prostitute yourself, we want to know your position.
We give God thanks for keeping Jamaica safe in turbulent geopolitical and geoeconomic times. We have navigated those waters very carefully, very skillfully, and we will bring the ship of the Jamaican state to the destination of prosperity for which God has ordained.
Prime Minister, I've passed many things in education. Idiocy wasn't one of them. So me now can explain or translate the idiotness what you just talked just now, because it's all fumbles and double talk, Prime Minister. What you want we to do every time you talk, we search for a sun, a grain of sand on a beach. That's what you are asking us to do, is to search for a particular grain of sand on a beach. Prime Minister, I don't have the time. I need them too old for Benya now. Because if you search for sand, you have to go up on your knee. Anyway, Marcus Garvey told us to unite or perish. If we don't see what is happening in our country, what is happening in our region, and what is happening in the world at large, and know that we can't do it on our own, but as a group. You don't like to read, let me send you to the jungle. You need to go and watch how the animal behave in the Serengeti. You need to observe how animals behave, especially social animals like lions, buffaloes, hyenas, monkeys, and all of that. You don't need to monitor how social animals operate. Maybe it will give us an idea as to why it's important for we do things together rather than separate. I don't have time for war with them here. But you can go watch some of the animals in the wild. Just go to the safari or the Serengeti. You will find so much. And you need to observe those social animals, those ones who live in a pack, those ones who live in a herd. You think bad as the lion be the buffalo afraid of them? You think a buffalo will turn up and see a lion, a cut one end of the buffalo throat, and he don't get to go give a buck or a kick? Oh, no, go on, young people. Anyway, globalists, thank you all for being here this morning. Still cold and depressing in Britain. I mean, I can't wait for April to come because by then we will be coming out of the incubated woods. Anyway, join us right back here this evening for your People's Point of View program. Make sure you hit the like button, because I'm tired of quarrel with them and I support the program just by simple hitting the like button. And that's all we're asked for, That's all we're asked for. If you just hit the like button, you wouldn't understand the benefit it would be to the program. So just sit down and a tear in my face. Just so. And now hit the like button. It's not a good thing. It's really not a good thing. But I saw no turn bad and stay. Anyway, thank you all for being here this morning. Lovely to have your all support. Join us back this evening for the People's Point of View. Thank you very much. Good morning and good afternoon.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So that's why I as a watching man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, night. We gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare every the way. Prepare every the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war and crime. Fight down. Listen, Rastafari. War and crime. And do the righteousness. And we love. And we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. Rastafari. Save all people. And we love Jaja. We love Jaja. Rastafari. We love Jaja. Rastafari. Save all people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watching man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, but you never hold thy peace, for we penalize day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates, prepare the way, prepare the way for Rastafari. Fight down war and crime, fight down war and crime, Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah, Rastafari, preserve all, and we love Jah, me love Jah, me love Jah, Rastafari, preserve all, me love Jah, Rastafari.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.